What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another hockey content with myself, Miguel Medina, my partner, Jim Biringer. Jim, Hockey Hall of Fame, class of 2023. Interesting lineup. Henrik Lundqvist, he played 887 games for the Rangers. He won the Vezina Trophy in 2012. He's a five-time All-Star. Yes, he didn't win a Stanley Cup. He came close, but he performed well in the playoffs as well. He had a .921 save percentage in 130 playoff games.
Yeah, I mean, Henrik Lundqvist, the king of New York, he was called the king when he got here. Ever since he came into the league, he's been a great backbone, especially for those Rangers teams from 2010, 2012 to about 2015, when they were either in the conference final, made a Stanley Cup final, went back to a conference final. They lost to Tampa Bay. There were some teams that he actually guided further in the playoffs than they probably should have. And he was a class act on and off the ice. And, he was a great teammate. And, I'm just so glad he got over his, his heart issues. And he finished his career with the Rangers. Yes, he did sign with Washington, but he never played there. So in my book, he finished his career with the New York Rangers.
Yes, indeed. And Vernon, who won 2 Stanley Cups, one with Calgary in 1989, 97 with Detroit. Every time I think of Vernon, I think about that fight with Patrik Elias. But, I'm glad that he got in, five-time All-Star. Who were you happy to see on this list to get in?
Pierre Turgeon for me. I thought Pierre Turgeon, 1,000 points. The way he played the game, I liked Pierre Turgeon getting in. Some guys before him, like Daniel Sedin, Henrik Sedin, Daniel Alfredsson, guys like that got in. I thought Turgeon's numbers were better. And the fact that, he played for St. Louis, the Islanders, Buffalo. Barrasso's a name. Tom Barrasso, the other member of the goalie union. 3 goalies this year in the class of 2023. He, Vezina Trophy, Calder Trophy in his rookie year, came out of high school to do it. 2 Stanley Cups, the winningest U.S. goaltender in history. And yeah, I agree. Mike Vernon, 2 backbones of the Calgary Flames in 1989 and 1997 with the Detroit Red Wings, Conn Smythe Trophy. These guys are definitely deserving.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk quickly about the snubs. For me, it was Patrik Elias and Henrik Zetteberg. Patrik Elias, we talked about him recently. He won 2 Stanley Cups. He's he leads second in points by a Czech-born player, 1,026 points. To me, he's a Hall of Fame caliber player. Henrik Zetteberg, he was the captain after Lindstrom for the Detroit Red Wings. 2008 was his best year, in my opinion. He won a Stanley Cup, and he won the Conn Smythe Trophy for Detroit. He also had an impressive rookie season with Detroit in 2003. So I feel that those 2 guys got, left out, in my opinion. And you can arguably say Chris Osgood as well.
Yeah, Osgood, I think a lot of people point to Osgood because of the 3 Stanley Cups and what he did, especially after Vernon left in 1998. And then what he does again in 2008 for the Detroit Red Wings. And he's there again in 2009. I mean, I think Ozzy, I thought he was a great goaltender. Again, we can debate numbers and everything. You could throw Curtis Joseph in there. You could throw Mike Richter, another guy. Patrik Elias, to me, I think, with the fact that Daniel Alfredsson, and again, I'll go to Alfredsson, I'll go to Henrik, Daniel Sedin. All these guys are worthy to get in. But Patrik Elias, career, 1 team, 1,000 games played, 1,000 points, was probably part of the best line in hockey for a couple years with Arnott and Sikora. 2 Stanley Cups, went to 4 finals, has international success as well with Czechia. I mean, the only guy that's in front of him all-time list is Jaromir Jagr. So once Jagr officially hangs up his skates, he's going to the Hockey Hall of Fame too. So look, I think Elias should have been there. Everybody knows how I feel about Alexander McGillney. Not going to get too much into it, but his resume alone should get him into the Hockey Hall of Fame. And I just think, I like Elias. I think he should be in too, and I hope he gets in down the road.
Yeah, we will have to wait for next year, see if it can finally happen. But he's that one New Jersey Devil that I would love to see get into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You guys, when you see this recording, you got Stevens, you got Niedermayer, Brodeurs in there. I think Elias deserves to be with that crew as well, enshrined in Toronto in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Those guys, what they did for the Devils teams, and I'm not trying to be biased here, but if I look at Patrik Elias' resume, I'm putting it up against any guy in the Hall of Fame, and I'll take Patrik Elias right now.
Have you been to the Hockey Hall of Fame? Have you visited before?
I've been there a couple of times. I love the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's so good. Funny story about the Hockey Hall of Fame. I was actually there in 2018. This was a goal of mine. The year Brodeur retired, I said, I'm going to the Hockey Hall of Fame the year he gets inducted. And I went in 2018 to see Marty Brodeur inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Got to go to the Hall of Fame game. The Devils played Toronto. Got to go to the Q&A, all the fun stuff. Got to meet Grant Fuhr, Curtis Joseph, a bunch of guys. Not Cujo. Who was Eddie Belfour was there. Eddie Belfour and Cujo and a bunch of other players. It was just a fun time. The Hockey Hall of Fame, if you have never been to the Hockey Hall of Fame, it's awesome. It's just a great trip down memory lane.
Yeah, I'm planning to go to Toronto next year, so I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout for that. I have to experience it. So, but yeah, definitely. I'm also interested in going to Vancouver and Edmonton to catch a game over there. But that's for another time. But Toronto will be the first one.
Yeah, I love to go to Edmonton and Vancouver for a game as well, because then you have Seattle right there as well, so you can check out the Kraken. But Toronto, if you guys have never been to like Toronto or Ottawa or Montreal for a game, it's awesome, man. You just gotta love going to those hockey cities. For me, I love Montreal. I also like Toronto, but again, it's a different city, the more European culture in Montreal, but Toronto is fun too, and it's a great walking town.